Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. For today I have our May Craft Club kit tutorial with some patriotic decor that I'm very excited for. Also stay tuned for a couple website shop announcements, but without further ado, let's jump into our first kit. So for our first kit, this comes in box 1, 2, and 3, and then if you are a box 2 or box 3 subscriber, you also get this 6x6 paper pad that you can use on your projects or any other projects that you might have. I love this month's paper pad. It is absolutely adorable. So first we're going to start out by painting the base. I wanted this to look like it was sitting on some grass, so I just grabbed a green paint and gave it one good coat. For the wheelbarrow itself, I wanted it to look more of an antique-y, worn wood look to it. So I used my antiquing wax from Waverly, painted it on there, and then wiped it off like you would a regular stain. I wanted my wheelbarrow to look even more weathered, so I grabbed a chip brush from the Dollar Tree, used some ivory colored paint, wiped off the excess paint from the brush, and then did a dry brush technique to all of the sides. And then I did take my brush and drag it throughout the middle just so that it had, that worn wood look to it, that it was an old wheelbarrow. And I like the old look the best. That's just my personal preference, but you can skip this step if you want. For my wheels, I also used the Waverly Wax and Antique, but I didn't wipe off the excess. I wanted them to be a bit of a darker color than the wheelbarrow itself. Moving on to the fireworks, I'm going to take some paper that comes in that 6x6 paper pad. I love this floral design with the red, white, and blue. I thought it was really pretty. So I'm going to take all those extra little triangles that we have and I'm going to trace them out, cut them out, and then I'm going to glue them on just with a glue stick. You could do Mod Podge if you want. However you want to adhere them is great. But with all the extra little triangles that you can use to layer on top of your fireworks, I used the paper for them. For the main firework piece, I am going to use 4 different colors. I'm going to use this metallic gold. I used a red, white, and a blue. So there are stars and stripes on here, and then some blank for you to do whatever you want to do with them. You can leave them blank. You can draw your own stars. You could use a stencil on them. The options are pretty limitless when it comes to painting this kit. However you want them to look is going to be completely up to you. So I just went through, painted all the portions that had the stars blue, and then I'm going to use a white, and then I forgot I did also use a lighter blue on this too, which I thought looked really nice as well. Just added another lighter touch to the fireworks. So I just mostly kind of played around. I tried hard not to put too many of the same colors right next to each other. Tried to, put some dark blues here and some dark blues there so there weren't spots of all the same color, if that makes any sense. Tried to do some patterns that way, but like I said, you can paint this however you want. You can make this look however you want it to look. My first go around, we didn't have the stars and stripes on here, and I tried doing my own stars and stripes, and it looked absolutely terrible, let me tell you. So we added the stars and the stripes to the backing and to the fireworks so that it was a little bit easier for those of us who do not have very good freehand techniques. So hopefully that helps you guys paint them to have those engraved lines there. If you want to just cover it all with paper, you could. Really, whatever you want to do is going to look great. I'm going to start assembling my kit, and I'm going to use this wood glue super glue that I get from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to add the front of my wheelbarrow to the main backing piece and then start adding my fireworks right on top. These fireworks do match up with the engraved spots on the front, so you can see exactly where each of them need to go. And then for the little triangles, they do have a specific firework that they go on top of. So before you start gluing down, I would just make sure that you're matching up those little triangles to the front of each firework and make sure that you have them in the correct spots. After I've gotten everything glued down, I'm going to go through and add little detailed touches, like filling in the black circles on the sides of the wheelbarrow. I wanted those to look like they had some sort of nails in them, so I just used a black paint pen and filled those in. And then with a really detailed paintbrush, I'm going through and adding little white details. I normally like doing some dots and some lines, highlighting, things like that, and I really feel like that elevates the piece, makes it come together more, and just adds that like final touch of detail that I'm looking for. So I just went around on the wheelbarrow itself, did little dots here and there, and then I went on the fireworks and added little dots and lines all over. Now I'm going to glue my wheels down. So the best way to do this is add some glue to the top half of your wheel on the front. You're going to put this down into your base, and then you are going to add your wheelbarrow to it, and you're going to angle it however you want it angled. I had the back lifted up with the front portion resting on the base. So you're going to leave that, let it set, and then you're going to do the same thing to the other wheel. You're going to add glue to the top half, and then with the wheelbarrow and other wheel already in the base, you're going to stick that wheel down into the base and then squeeze the wheels together. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a little confusing to say, but you watched it, so hopefully you understand. Then I did add some little dots and lines to the base because I felt like it was looking a little too plain. And that's it. That's it for this kit. I thought this was absolutely adorable, and it is perfect for the 4th of July, Memorial Day, whatever other patriotic days you want to set this out for. I think it's really fun. Really quickly, before we head into our second kit, I wanted to go through a couple different website shop announcements. First off, our Memorial Day sale is still going. You can get 10% off, plus so much stuff has been really marked down. I'm talking 50 cents for single sheets of paper, $1 for some ephemera, $1.50 for others. They are extremely discounted. I'm trying to make room for what we've got coming up, so snag them while you can. A lot of them are limited quantity, so if you want it and it says limited quantity, you're going to want to snag it before somebody else does. As well as we've added a last chance section to our website. We are getting rid of a ton of our designs to make room for all the new stuff that we have planned, all the new kits that we have planned to come out this year and next year. So we are wiping a lot of them off of our website. If you go to our last chance section, you can see all the items that we will be retiring. So you have until June 30th to shop these kits. After June 30th, they will be retired. And why not shop them right now while you can get 10% off your entire order? The Memorial Day sale ends this Friday, May 30th. So snag them while you got a discount, while the other items are extremely discounted. I will have everything linked in my description box below. Moving on to box number 3, this is the kit that you will receive if you have box number 3 along with the other kit shown. You'll also receive these 2 accessory items, which is a stencil and ephemera. We're going to use both of those in today's project, and I think they turned out so much fun. So here are all the pieces that come in box 3, just so that you can see each and every piece. This was a really easy kit. It just has a lot of details to it. So that's what takes the longest, is just painting those little details. Same with the other kit before. It's very simple and easy, not a ton of pieces, just the detail painting is what takes it a little bit longer, but I think it's so much fun. So for this kit, I wanted my roof piece or the canopy. I don't know exactly what you'd call that, but I wanted it to have a red, white, and blue stripes to it. So I did just that. I just did it in a red, white, and blue pattern. I toyed with the idea of doing scrapbook paper on here. I think that would also look really, really pretty if you decided to go that way. I just thought that keeping it more simple with the red, white, and blue would coordinate best with the stencil that we're going to use. Now for the little pieces that we have. So for the spin wheels, I just did red, white, and blue on those as well. You're going to want to use a detailed paintbrush, or you could also use some fine tip paint pens if you have those. For the main backing piece for our stand, I'm going to paint the bottom half white so that when I go in with my stencil, you can see the colors more clearly. For our 3 little banners, I also wanted to do a red, white, and blue theme. So I did white for the smallest circle, then red, and then I'll do blue and white for the stars. For our ice cream, I did a vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate, or white, brown, and pink, and I just kind of switched up the placement for each of those ice cream bowls. And then I added some red on the top for the little cherry. You could also do little polka dots to make it look like it had sprinkles on it. I thought that was a really fun idea too. For my ice cream bowls, I used a really light blue to give the appearance of a clear glass. Hopefully that came across, but I just did a couple coats with this really light sky blue color. For the middle of our spin wheels, I used a white marker just to get into that star, and then I also used the white marker for the other stars on the banners. Doing that first before painting it blue is a lot easier than painting it blue and then doing the stars and then accidentally getting white on the blue. So this part took a little bit longer just because you have to work around all those stars, but I found it best to paint the stars white before painting the blue. And then just went through with a tiny detailed paintbrush and painted the last stripe blue. For our ice cream stand, for those wood pieces on the side, I'm going to use my Waverly Wax and Antique. I also used this on the top portion of our stand. I wanted it to look like it had a wooden top. And then for our long rectangle piece that comes in the kit, I also used that Waverly stain or that Waverly wax on that as well. Again, just wanted the top to look like it had a plain wooden look to it. For my wheels, I'm also going to use that Waverly wax, but I'm not going to remove any of the excess. I want the wheels to look dark. For our base, we are going to make it look like grass. So again, I just used some green paint and gave it 1 coat. I started assembling my kit using that wood glue super glue that you get from the Dollar Tree. I just added the top roof, canopy, whatever you want to call it. I added that first, then remembered I wanted to use my stencil. So I'm going to take out that stencil, I'm going to tape it down where I want it. And then I went in with 3 different colors. So for the stars, I'm going to use blue, and I'm doing an up and down dabbing motion so that it doesn't bleed. I'm not getting a ton of paint underneath the stencil. I do everything in an up and down dabbing motion. And then for the stars with the little streamers or light behind it, I went in with a metallic gold. And then for the firework portion, I went in with a red. Now you can finish assembling your kit. So I started with the long rectangle piece. There is some engraved lines, so you can see exactly where to put that. You don't want to put it at the very top. You want to leave room so that your ice cream can sit on top of that rectangle. You're going to glue your banners down right up next to that rectangle. Glue your wheels down on top of the back wheels. Add your spin wheels to the side of each of that rectangle. And then for your ice cream, you're going to add glue to the bottom and then to the stem of the cup, and then glue it down right on top of the backing and then where the bottom touches the rectangle. You can see what I'm doing. I feel like I'm so terrible at explaining these. Hopefully by seeing helps, because I feel like what I'm saying does not make any sense. I did add a piece of wood to the back just so that it gave a little bit of more support to the ice cream while they were drying. And then again, I'm going through with a tiny detailed paintbrush, adding some more details. I really feel like this just pulls the whole look together and makes it look more finished, a lot less plain than if you were to just leave it as is. Just adding some little dots and lines, I really feel like makes such a huge difference. So I went around just about everything, the pinwheels, the banners. I did little highlights to the ice cream and to the cherries on top, and then went through on the roof and added little lines on each of those little sections, and it really just elevated the piece. I thought it made it look complete. And then lastly, the ephemera pack comes with this piece that says One Nation Under God. It was the perfect size for our rectangle on the top of our stand. So I just used a little bit of that same glue that we've been using on top, and then added the paper down right on top of that, and that finishes the piece off. I love this so much. It is perfect for 4th of July coming up. The last day to sign up to get these craft club kits is May 31st. So if you're wanting to snag these patriotic decor pieces, make sure that you go to our website, moredecalanddecor.com, sign up for our craft club. You can choose box 1, 2, or 3. If you want both of these kits, make sure you sign up for box 3. And all of these boxes will be shipped out on June 1st, so you have plenty of time to get them, paint them, put them together before July 4th. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video and that it was helpful in painting and assembling your kits. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!